Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Princess of STEM, where we discuss all things science, technology, engineering, and math. And now your host, Dr. Whitney Gaskins.
Well, it is. It's
Yeah.
clinical strength. I mean, they tell you to apply it at night after you've showered, plug the sweat ducts so that you have that's the greatest efficacy because it's got time to actually plug.
Absorb into your skin.
To plug those sweat ducts. Because anybody who's using it,
Yeah.
it was designed for those who the insight was those who have hyperhidrosis, so this
Yeah.
excessive sweating on the
I have
arm.
hyperhidrosis.
And like the prescription options are very drying, irritating. And so it was like, hey, can we match that
yeah.
in terms of efficacy, but then make it soothing for the arms? And so that it's not, you're
I
not
take a
feeling
pill.
like, yeah. So like you're not feeling like you're on fire.
That's interesting.
So that was, so I mean, everybody uses deodorant. You can't be walking around the universe funky. And so like kids learning
People
like,
do though.
I know they do. And so then body wash. I went to
Okay.
Olay Body Wash.
Okay.
And then I came into hair care. I've been in hair care. I went into hair care in 2013. So it's been 13 years, January 2013. So
This is an interesting shift though. You
What?
didn't like science,
mm-mm.
got into science,
Mm-hmm.
got into
I was good in class though. I mean, so it just was boring to me. And they would be reading to you. And it was just like reading and memorizing facts. It wasn't like we were actually like doing any hands-on experiments. So she asked me what was my favorite experiment. I said, well, it wasn't from childhood, but P&G does.
not Proctor. You already got a degree. in
Listen, but P&G does Take Your Child to Work Day.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
so I did Take Your Child to Work Day and did the Mentos and Coke experiment.
Oh yeah.
And so, but it's just like, hey, you put one in and then
You
like,
get a little
okay,
yeah.
but no, what? I
You
said,
did
but-
10, didn't
oh
you?
my God.
I knew it. You-
Oh my God. And then, well, is it really just Coke? Could we do it with Sprite? Could we do this with the store
Does it
brand?
change with diet?
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
And it was hot. So they had a tent for us, but because the kids that I had were
Y'all
like
were
me,
just-
and it was shooting up on top. So we had to move the tent out of the way because it was like we were getting the Coke fountain on our head, and so yeah, Mhm.
That was your favorite.
that
science
was my
experiment?
favorite one. But I was grown and had a PhD by then. I mean, honestly, like
The fact that this is your favorite. And
oh,
this
because
is
that's just fun, right? It's just
okay,
a
but
whole lot of fun.
okay.
But you know what? So when I took chemistry, I took advanced chemistry.
Yeah.
In advanced chemistry, we made some beer because we were talking about
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fermentation, and I was like, "This is how beer is made." Not that, and I'm not a beer drinker. I wasn't fascinated by it then. Don't drink beer now. Like, oh my God. Like if I go to a brewery, I'm like, well, do they have wine? And what kind do they have?
You can get like a seltzer. Okay.
Mm.
You're like, no. Okay.
Mm. But we made beer.
And you were interested in that.
I was interested. And what was interesting to me about it was
Mhm.
I loved cooking, right? So I loved baking in the kitchen with my
Do you
grandmother.
bake with beer?
Oh, I love baking. Oh, baby, I'm bad now,
Oh.
baby.
Wait,
Listen,
th-
I'm the
wait a
cooking
minute.
lady.
You came here without snacks?
I did. And you know what? I should have brought
You
some.
should have brought some
I
snacks.
should
You
have. I
came
did.
here
I did know,
without
but
snacks?
listen, and I'm always trying to figure out how to take it to the next level. So I package them up.
Yeah.
I put a label on them because I'm also a germaphobe. So I don't like taking cookies
There's
and things
lots of
out.
layers here.
Like I don't like taking cookies and stuff out, and then people are putting their hands on.
Yeah.
And this was before COVID, and so
you don't
COVID
eat
took me
potluck.
over.
You're not a potluck chick.
Oh,
I'm not either.
ugh.
They do those
Clutch
things at
my
work.
pearls.
And they're like, oh, we're gonna they're having a chili cook-off. And I was
Mm.
like, oh,
It's scary.
you guys enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. I hope
Yeah,
you guys love it.
yeah.
I can't do open food either.
Yeah, it's hard for me.
Yes.
And I had so imagine I was at P&G. I was a band 2. My band 5, so it was 3 levels above me. So I don't, like I don't make it a big deal.
Okay.
Right? And so you have to be watching me to see this
That
play
you're-
out, right?
Yeah.
So whenever there would be like potluckish situations, or they had ordered food like from
Yeah, yeah.
some restaurant, right? And that's potluckish
It
to me
is.
too. But I have to be at the front of the line. I have to see you. They've taken it off. They're taking the covers off, and I'm the first one.
So you like watching people like a hockey? You're like,
And so he had been watching me do that at a few events. And
What'd
he
he
walked
say?
and he walked up to me and he said, I take it you don't like a lot of germs and people around your food. I said, why can't you just isn't there some director leave? And now that's like vice president level. Isn't there some vice presidential stuff for you to go do?
Yeah.
Leave the work or be people alone. I'm just down here just trying.
I'm just trying to enjoy.
I'm just trying to fix a little brisket sandwich.
Not a biscuit sandwich. I'm trying to just
like,
do me.
just let it go. Yeah.
You're hilarious.
So that's it.
Okay, everyone, welcome to the Princess of STEM Diaries. I am here with Rukeyser Thompson. So excited for you to be here because you're a real live beauty scientist.
Okay.
This is a big deal.
Okay.
And you know it's a big deal. You like play it off like it's not a big deal.
Mhm.
Like earlier we were talking about the interview with Peyton and that
Yeah.
you're like a Black history fact.
Yeah.
You are.
Okay.
So
okay.
I need you to embrace it.
Okay.
But for me, you mean a lot to me in a lot of different ways. You are a voice actor in our Stimulating Adventure show. You get to voice Madam C.J. Walker.
That was such an honor to be asked to do that. It was so much fun.
So deserving.
Thank
And
you.
I was so happy about that. You're my sorority sister.
Yes.
I
Loving your
literally
pink and green glasses.
Listen, I said I had to wear a little something.
You did.
You also are my workout accountability partner.
Yes.
For a year,
Yes.
you text me
Yes.
every day
Yes.
to make sure I did my workout.
Yes.
I have lost 15 pounds.
Yay, you. I think I gained the ones you lost.
Girl, stop. She said
Oh, no. It's the Menopause Chronicles right now.
Oh, see.
Yeah, it's the Menopause Chronicles, honey.
But it's
and that's
a lot.
different. But I've continued to work out.
Okay.
And I can only imagine what I would look like if I didn't. And I still, but I have like muscles, and I'm like, okay. Well,
Okay,
all
see?
is not lost.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just the mental belly situation. I'm
They
like,
did say
okay,
that
we
that's
get
the thing.
yeah,
That's
we
a
get-
real
It is a
symptom.
real thing, and so we're dealing with that.
Yes.
Mhm.
But you don't have to do like, you're one of the most loving. So you've been a STEMI award winner.
I have.
I don't think people really, you've hosted our show.
I have.
You mean a lot to me.
You mean a lot to me. You keep asking me to do these things. So listen,
Okay.
like I was like crushing on you because you would be posting these things,
Yes.
and I would be like, I want to be her friend. Now I know we're sorority sisters, and I know of her, and I've
Yeah.
been kind of like in spaces. I said, but I declared I want to be her friend.
Yes.
And so and then it happened, and it's like, okay,
Yeah, we're friends.
yeah, but
We're here.
you do such amazing stuff. Like you're visionary. You are a visionary. Your
I take that.
creativity, and I love it. And so, and I just want to be in the midst. This is literally what I was telling little 7th grade Peyton Wright
yes,
in
yes.
Alabama today, is that if you are the tightest one in your circle, I need you to get a new circle. I hang
Ooh.
around women
Yes.
who make me up my game.
Yes.
So anybody who like thinks like, oh, I'm the stuff, oh honey, no,
Uh-uh.
you don't know about the ones I roll with.
Yes.
You have no idea about
I support
them.
that message.
Like they are top notch. So to keep up with them, I have to keep doing stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here for that message
Yeah.
because I think people do get a little comfortable in a rut, wondering why they are. Your sphere of influence is literally how you elevate.
Again.
You
It
got to
absolutely
expand your
is.
sphere.
You do. You
Okay.
do. Yeah.
You're a woman in STEM.
I am a woman in STEM.
How'd you get there?
Well, we were just talking about it before.
Yeah.
All right. I did not like science until the first class I liked science in was 6th grade.
That's
Okay.
still
That's a
crazy.
long time to be bored
I
in a
said
science
that's a
class.
long
It is a
time.
long time. And then I was bored again for 4 more years and wasn't like, I don't even know how I got here.
What was your
because-
what was your favorite subject? Like, what class were you not bored in?
So I loved math. Okay.
What
I
about-
loved English. And so like now baby, I'll edit you. I will edit you.
You-
Like and I love to read. And
Okay.
so like I'm still really old school. I know that there are all the audiobooks and I don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
always the time to read, but when
Yes.
I read a book, first of all, I buy it. It's mine.
Yeah.
Me trying to check it out at the library doesn't work because they'll be mad with me. I
'Cause
need
you're
to
gonna-
write. I need to write it in my margins. I need
Oh,
to
you're
make
in it.
notes in it. I
Yeah.
need to have like post-its. And so when my children were in school, they would be just reading superficially and they would be reading some books I had read. I was like, oh, that's not how that goes. And so
Oh.
and especially, so if I was traveling, I'd be like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm reading such and such chapters. You need to be up on it because by the time I land, I am going to call or text you the questions and we're going to have a whole conversation about it. And I required them to read for depth and I learned how to do that. And so
Oh.
because I was in a lot of like advanced reading or
Yeah.
English classes and stuff like that. And so those were the classes that I loved. But when I would ask like science teachers, okay, so like, okay, what is the whole purpose of this? What am I going to do with
You're
this?
like, what does this mean?
Yeah. And they could not give me an answer that did not require my eyes to glaze over until sixth grade.
Okay.
Artist Lewis, Mr. Lewis, Alcorn State University grad, also where I went to college. And he was just so amazing, so energetic.
Yeah.
He never sat at his desk because he was just out in the classroom making these concepts come to life.
Oh.
And he was funny with it.
Yeah.
And the tests were challenging. And I was like, this is okay.
So it wasn't that you were bored with science. You didn't have a teacher who gave you the depth that your mind requires. You like deep thinking.
Sounds really good. I like your version of that.
Well, because I was like, there's no way that you're bored in science. But you didn't get the depth. You were doing superficial science.
Well, and they were making you like memorize words.
Yeah.
And
You were doing superficial
and
science.
what we do with this? I just don't know what we're going to do.
Like it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh,
that makes sense. Okay, keep going.
Well, and then I didn't like it again until 4 years later when I took chemistry in high school.
What is up to physical science, earth science?
Yeah, it was biology.
And then chemistry.
that really wasn't my thing. But like every time I think about biology, it was like all the words were like streptococcus or something like that. And I was just
that is not a oh my god. Mitochondria, eukaryotes. You know what? I loved biology class.
I'm telling you, that was how I felt.
Yeah.
Chemistry, though, married math and science.
And that's why chemistry was like...
I loved balancing equations. It was so much fun to me.
You love math. That's all it is.
And it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Okay, did you like organic chemistry? This is a test if we're vibing or not.
I didn't like it as much.
Okay.
I had to work much harder.
Same.
In organic chemistry.
Okay, good. We're on the same side.
My brain was not 3D. I had to have a model for everything.
I could not do the...
Oh my God, right?
Anyway, okay. So I just needed to make sure.
But chemistry, and it was chemistry because I also enjoyed cooking. I enjoyed baking. Baking is really my thing. And so I spent a lot of time in the kitchen with my grandmother baking because she had a hand mixer and she needed some more hands.
So she didn't
listen, honey, when she finally got a Sunbeam mixer that like was on a stand and you could just turn it on. Oh, we thought that was revolutionary, right?
You're like,
but I was the hand of the hand mixer.
Get in here and mix this up.
Yes. And she would be getting the other ingredients and stuff together. But that was what was so fun to me. Then I took advanced chemistry and we made beer in the class. And so I'm not a beer drinker, so please don't even get it twisted. But what was so interesting to me about it was like, oh, for real? Like you need chemistry to make beer.
Yeah.
Huh. Who knew? Why didn't y'all just say that in the beginning? Because if you needed to make beer, you needed to make all these other drinks that we're drinking too, right? The sodas and all the things. I'm like, you could have just said that.
You're hilarious because Would it have really made a difference for you? Yes.
It would have for me.
It would have
It
for you.
would have
It
for
actually
me.
would for a lot of people. They always talk about
Yes.
like that contextual learning and
Yes.
how important it is.
Yes.
Start telling people why they're learning what they're learning.
Exactly.
Like show them
And
the
how
application.
it comes to life.
Yes,
Right?
it's
Like, so
important.
that it is extremely important. So,
Yeah.
but once I did that in high school, then that was it. I was on the trajectory.
Yeah.
And so I majored in chemistry at Alcorn State University, HBCU in Lorman, Mississippi.
HBCU.
And I was also Miss Alcorn State University.
Oh,
so if
wait
you've
a
gone,
minute.
so if you've gone to HBCU, now you know that is
It's a big deal.
Oh, it's a huge deal still.
I saw the pictures recently
Shut
on a Facebook post about you and all of the queens. And I said, look at her in this
Because back in the
crown."
day, right,
Okay,
when there
okay.
was Ebony magazine,
Yeah.
then they put the black campus queens.
Yes.
And so it was such a big deal. And growing up in my little town, Bassville, Mississippi, one 4-way stop still to this day, like to make it into an Ebony magazine, like, oh my goodness.
I feel like,
And
you're a real celebrity.
well, and I thought these girls are so pretty.
Yeah.
And they're so smart.
Yes.
And like all these big schools, and to have one person, and that's who's in there. And so, it's like, okay, but that won't be happening for me, was really what I thought. I'm like, because like, oh no. Like
Yeah.
you gotta really be smart and really talented and just all the things
Yeah.
to be able to do that.
And you are
so,
all of those things.
well, it's so interesting. Thank you for saying that. It was
Yeah.
so interesting. Like when it happened, when I'm on campus, I'm on campus. It's second generation Alcornite, and then my children are third. My son graduates
Oh,
in
I
May.
did not know everyone went.
Oh, yes. It is where our family goes to school.
It's not even like you said, this is where we go to school.
This is
like,
where we go.
What if one of them would have said, I want to go to Spelman or Morehouse or
Okay.
Ooh,
How-
baby, it was not a real okay. It's not a real okay.
We paying for this exactly how, and like, and this then the connections that we have. Like, we are very active alum, and I'm going to tell you this: when they talk about like train up a child,
Yeah.
oh, listen, they were on campus.
They knew.
They knew.
Okay.
They absolutely knew. My son did not start there because he had a love of lacrosse, and so he was down to 2 schools for him and he had to decide if he was playing lacrosse or not. So he decided in the beginning that that's what he was going to do.
Okay.
So he went to Baldwin Wallace, and then after his first year, he said, "You know what? I want to go to Alcorn." And because it was after he was a kid of the pandemic, so he
Okay.
didn't get his lacrosse season in high school. And then that freshman year of college was wonky with all the rules
I know what
and
you
stuff.
meant. Yeah.
And then the coach and the AD both left. AD, I think, retired. The coach left to go to a D1 school. And we got the call like on a Friday night, late July. And we were actually on our way out to celebrate my husband's birthday. And by Monday morning, my son was like, "You know what? Mom, I want to go to Alcorn." And I'm like, "Well, it's August now."
Yeah, you're like,
'Cause-
baby,
and
school
I'm like,
is
"We gotta-
starting. Yeah.
But we were able to do it. Listen, I love Alcorn State University. And it was such a transformative experience for me.
Yeah.
I've seen it be that way for our children as well. And and we've started taking our grandson. So he's gone to a couple of games. He is tailgated
How
already.
old is your grandson?
He is 1 year, 8
was
months.
like,
so we would
I
train up a
remember
child.
this
He has his
baby
Alcorn
being
gear
born.
already. We are serious about this. Okay. We
I'm
are
not
serious. We
even
are
knocking
working
it.
on 4th generation Alcornite. That is what we're working on. We are on a mission, and we are unapologetic.
As you should be.
Exactly.
I support all of this. All of this. The interesting thing for me is Delano is diehard Go Blue. Went to the
Okay.
University of Michigan.
Okay.
And recently we were like, if we had to get behind a school, what would it be?
Yeah.
Because I really do want my kids to go to an HBCU.
Okay.
And so we've decided like it's University of Michigan and we're gonna champion an HBCU. My grandpa went to Howard.
Okay.
That's our only connect.
Okay.
So I'm like, it might be Howard.
Okay.
Your choices are Michigan or Howard.
Yeah.
Get with it.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
don't know. We're not fully decided. That's why I was like, I support this mission.
Yeah.
I want one day for my kids to say, we are this and our kids are that. Like, I want a 4th generation college where we send our kids.
You know what? I'm going to tell you this. First of all, I just think that the HBCU experience is just so rich because it's tradition.
It is tradition.
It's legacy. It's also it's excellence.
Yes.
And first day that I went into my honors chemistry class, Miss Thing was late, honey. You know, I was late.
Ooh.
And the late Dr. Troy Stewart, my professor and mentor and friend, I walked in that classroom that day and he said, "You don't come in my class late. To be late, to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late, and to be late is to never have arrived. You have not arrived in my class today. Try it on Wednesday," because class was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He told me to turn around and go back to my dorm until I could get my life together. I was never late again. He played no games.
Come on.
But you think about today's standards.
Yes.
Somebody would be calling a helicopter mama
Yes.
about this.
Yes.
And it's like, you know what? Okay.
It is
Yes.
actually sad about where
Yes.
we are and what our standards are. Because I work
Yes.
at a university.
Yeah.
I do get calls from parents.
Yeah.
I get calls. Some of them are probably legit because it's concern. So
Yes.
like there's a lot
Yes.
for parents to learn when their kids also
Yeah.
are actually living as adults.
Yeah.
But some of it is like, your kid didn't turn in their assignment. Like,
There are
why
consequences.
there are consequences to their actions. Why are you calling me?
There are absolute consequences. There were consequences when they were at home and I found out that they didn't turn in their work. This was
Yeah.
before college,
Yes.
right? And so we dealt with enough of those consequences for them to know, don't try that.
Don't try that at
Well,
school.
No,
Oh.
ma'am, no, sir. No, don't try that.
See, it sounds like you've had good mentorship, though.
Oh,
Your
I had
professors-
amazing mentorship because it's a hard process. Getting
Yeah,
a
yeah.
PhD. So I went on. I got a PhD in chemistry from Purdue. It's a hard process.
Yeah.
And Dr. Stewart was just so pivotal for me because, like, I would call back some days crying, discouraged,
Mm-hmm.
feeling overwhelmed,
Mhm.
and he was just always this wind beneath my wings of telling me that I could do it.
That's amazing.
And so that was what I had calling back to Alcorn. And then there were others, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there were other people who were that for me too when I
Yeah.
was at Purdue because we had a community.
At
So
Purdue.
like we
Yeah,
had
yeah.
a community at Purdue,
Okay.
right? So we had a church family. I
Okay.
had friends that I'd met that were in grad school and we were in the trenches together, right? And some
I
who
love
were
how grad school's the trenches because it really is.
it really is the
It is. It's a
trenches, right?
haze.
And so
Yeah.
like they were ahead of me.
Mhm.
And so they had their notes that they had saved and I could use those because it takes
A
a
village.
village.
To get through graduate school,
Oh my gosh.
I remember one of my friends said, "We did it." And I was like, "What you mean we did it?" She was like, "Girl,
Listen.
the nights we were up on that phone crying together,
Uh-huh.
you right, sis. It's our
Yes.
degree. Yes. We did it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a whole village.
It is a village.
Mhm. Yeah.
So Purdue graduate school, PhD.
Mhm.
Why PhD?
So for the longest time, I thought I wanted to be a teacher. My mother was a teacher.
Okay.
Right. And so I was gonna be a college professor. That's what I was gonna do.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna do. I soon realized that was not what I was gonna do.
What made you change?
We have a saying in the South, there's too much sugar for a dime. Okay. And so there's a lot that you have to do with anything, but you got to decide if you're willing to do that. I was not.
funny. Said there's a saying.
Yes. And so that was just too much sugar for a dime for me because it was like, you get the PhD, now you got to go do a postdoc. Then after you do the postdoc, then you're going to be an assistant professor with the hopes of being an associate professor, with the hopes of being a full professor.
Yes.
But you're making a peasant salary in the
whole
midst of
time.
this. And so, like, if that's what you want,
Mm-hmm.
then great, right? It wasn't, I decided that was what I wanted to do.
You were like,
Okay.
mm-mm.
It just wasn't. But I also could not figure out what I wanted to do. I was really amazing at figuring out what I didn't want to do. But trying
like,
to figure
not
out what do
that,
I want? Like, no. Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
No.
So then I thought, well, maybe then I should go into government, like government lab.
Really?
And so I was a part of Novachet. And so,
Yeah.
I had people in my network who worked at Lawrence Livermore,
Mhm,
who
mhm.
were, Oak Ridge National Labs. And I was like, okay, I don't think so.
You said you were good at no. You were good
I
at
was-
elimination.
Yeah. And so then I was hearing like, okay, industry. Okay, so what does that mean? What do I do with that? Right. And then that was such a vast field of an
It is. Industry's
opportunities.
anything.
It is. And so the summer before before I started at Purdue, I had a gym fellowship. And and Procter and Gamble.
I did not know you were a gym fellow.
I was a gym fellow. And so
you're nothing but excellence. Okay, like come
so
on.
P&G was my sponsor company. And ironically, I worked in hair care. I did, and I was in analytical because my plan was to get a PhD in chemistry, but focus on analytical. And so I had that like as one of the experiences for me. So what was I going?
Is it like that intern year thing?
It is, and it was. It was, and so that exposed me to industry.
Yes,
right. And so I got to see all these products that they make.
Yeah.
P&G makes all these products that I was already using.
I didn't know what P&G was until I moved to Cincinnati.
Let me tell you what I had at that point. What they did with the interns was we stayed on campus at Xavier. Okay.
Oh yeah,
and so when I came though, I was married because I got married.
Yeah.
So I finished at Alcorn December 94, and then 2 weeks later, Eric and I got married. We've been married now for 31 plus years.
Y'all said we graduated and let's go get married.
Well, he finished in May. He had finished in May, and then we only had graduation at once a year. And so it was in May the following year. So May 95, he got his master's, and then that was when I marched.
Okay.
But anyway, so we were in an apartment, so I wasn't staying like in the dorm with the other students. So I sublet an apartment, and I had a closet though in this apartment where I was just stockpiling stuff, right? I had detergent, because you do these panels at work.
He said I was stockpiling.
Listen, you do these panels, and
I'll
it's like, hey, they want you to feel a sheet of Bounty. They want you to smell this, that, and then you get these coupons and you go to the bonus store. And so it just smelled amazing. So, from soap to Dawn to skincare products. I didn't know they made Olay.
Yeah.
They make Crest. I'm like, they make Bounty. They make Charmin. Everything was in this closet because I'm about to be a peasant again because I'm going to graduate school. And by the way, I'm pregnant too. Like,
Ooh,
so
baby.
it was like, there's a lot. And there were Pampers in there. I'm like, they make Pampers.
You
like,
were like,
oh my God.
Let me go
like,
ahead.
this is the place for me.
You stockpiling.
So, yes. So that was when I found out what could be done in industry, was that summer. And then I came back for a program. At that time, it's called RTCI. Now it's called FIRST. And so it's a program, it's a recruiting conference for doctoral students, right? And at that time, it was for Black, Hispanic, and Native American students.
Okay.
And so I came back. That was several years later. So I'm like a PhD candidate. I'm like about a year from graduating, and it was a great experience. I learned so much. While I did not get offered an interview, I got interviews from all these other places. And so one of those, so I interviewed at Dow, took the job in Freeport, Texas. And here's the thing that was so funny about that was, so I said I grew up in a farm. I grew up in a farming community in Mississippi, and so it's hot, right? And on my grandparents' farm, my grandparents planted everything. So my grandfather planted everything. We were farm to table before it was a sexy thing.
Oh,
okay,
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Like corn, peas, you name it. And
My
then he had
grandparents did a
livestock.
lot
He
of
had
potatoes.
hogs, he had cows. So like, listen, honey, no, we farmed to table.
Yeah.
Okra, you name it. So when the summertime would come, I promise you, if school was out on Tuesday, cucumbers were ready to be picked on Wednesday. It was the worst. I was like, what is this? Like, it's summer vacation. On the cucumber vine, though, there's a little bloom that attracts bumblebees. Okay. So that's important for this story. So I'm at Dow now. Fast forward, and I am working in process analytical, and I was out at one of the plants and I was installing a portable GC mass spec. And I go and I say, I'm constantly swatting because it's like a wasp is
Mm-hmm.
bothering me. And I go inside and I tell the plant operator, I said, hey, you guys have like a wasp nest out there. I need you guys to get that so that I can install this,
Mm-hmm.
finish my work. So he comes back in, and you have to understand, like, it's 95 degrees in the morning. Because this
That
is like
sounds
Houston.
miserable.
This is like Houston,
Yeah.
Texas area, right? So
Yeah,
Freeport
yeah.
is 15 miles away or so. And so I have on a hard hat, steel toe boots, all the things. And he came back. I'm wearing no makeup, hair's back in a ponytail or whatever. And it's the South, right? He was like, little lady, that wasn't no wasp nest, that was a hornet's nest. And that just, I was like, no, that's just too much. No, we got hornets out here. And what I had was this flashback. I was like, how is this different than picking cucumbers? Like, you were not specific enough in your goal. You said you wanted to get a PhD, but baby, you needed to be more specific. I want a PhD that does not have me outside doing this, that, and the other. Like, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong for anybody who wants to do that, but it was not me.
You were like,
It is not for me.
Yes.
And so then I'm like, okay, I need to figure something else out. There are definitely other opportunities.
Yeah.
And I tried that while I looked internally and externally. The opportunities that came available to me were external. And so
Okay.
I came back here to Cincinnati and I interviewed at Miami Valley, P&G's facility that does not exist anymore. And while I'm there, I'm realizing basically this is the same job that I'm doing in Texas. I would just have to move my husband, our 2 children, and our dog. I don't think so. So I told him that day, I was like, yeah, not going to work. So I didn't think it was going to work out. A couple of weeks later, the head of doctoral recruiting called me and he said, hey, that wasn't a fit, but we think we've got another one for you. I was like, okay, great. So I go, I don't have to come back here. I have some phone interviews and this is for a job over in fabric and home care. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Because again, my favorite chore at the house is
The
actually laundry.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
And so anybody else wouldn't have been excited about this, but I was supposed to come into what they had at that time was it was a textiles group. And so when you think about they were working with like the fashion industry or clothing industry because you could buy some really expensive clothes and then you get these pills and fuzz when you got this friction, right?
Yeah.
And so they wanted to better understand that. I was like, oh, I love fashion. I'm like, oh, this sounds like
You're learning in here.
I'm like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. So I'm on my last like phone interview for the job before like I have to come back here and like do a panel interview. And guy I'm talking to is a PhD synthetic organic chemist who's telling me he does products research and they're about to launch Tide with a touch of Downing. And his name is Dr. Ron Swift. And so I go through, I answer all the questions he's got. I said, so tell me how you get to doing this with a PhD in synthetic organic. What in the world?
Yeah.
And we talked for 30 more minutes. Long story short, I wound up coming into the company, actually doing products research and not into that textiles role. Now, what's interesting is shortly after I came into the company, I met a very well-meaning person who came up to me and said, because I was a PhD, and the PhDs in North America normally did not start in products research.
Okay.
That was what happened like outside of the US, but like not in the US. And so the other role that I had turned down was considered to be a more technical role. And you need to go back, apologize for saying that you didn't want that other job and did this one instead. Now, this is somebody who, again, I chose to believe meant well.
Yeah.
Okay. And I still believe that, but who did not know me. And
Yeah.
so what's important about that part of this story is you've got to know who you are.
Yes.
When Ron Swift was describing this job to me, what I thought was, oh my gosh, this sounds like the perfect marriage of the technical with getting out to talk to people. I never thought that I was going to be the scientist that was just in the lab all the time because I need too much human interaction.
Right.
Right. And a lot of scientists are introverts and they don't want that.
They like that isolation.
They do.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but you got to do you. And because there's room
We're
in
all
this
not the
world
same.
for all
Mhm.
of it, right?
Mhm.
I knew that about me. And so to
Yes.
thine own self be true. I realized that, I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm still
You're still
yeah, I'm
there.
still well, and I have my responsibilities are far more expansive because I get to, and so there's a difference between get to and have to.
Yeah.
I get to every single day work with some of the most talented people in the world. In my group are the formulators who are deciding what our products on Head and Shoulders are going to be
Yeah.
in the next 6 months, the next 12, the next 5, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
The process people who then have to figure out how they're going to scale it up. And we've got all these red transformations that we've got to
Yeah.
work our way through. I've got the products researchers on my team. I also have now sensory scientists, people who are figuring out what are our methods that are consumer relevant so that we
Yeah.
can make sure that we're using this product in a way that our consumer will.
Will
And what is that
actually-
breakthrough? What
yeah.
is that light bulb of like, why you must have
I want this. I'll use it. I
Yes.
have
And
choice. Why choose you?
exactly.
Yeah.
And so like that's what I get to do. I learn so much every day because these people on my team are brilliant. So when I tell you every day for me is a day that I am upskilling, they are upskilling me every
love
single day.
Yes.
And I go and I get to go into the lab with them to see because for me it's helpful to better understand like where our challenges are. And I have to integrate all of that
Yeah.
and then figure out that now how do I go and make sure that I'm leading transformation for this wonderful and talented group of people? What are the barriers that may be in their way that are keeping them from doing some of the work that we need to get done? And let me go figure that out.
Yeah.
And so it is, when I tell you it's a get to experience that I get up every morning and I'm excited about that I get to. It's not a have to.
That's a beautiful way to describe your work. And I'm thankful to know you, to know someone who actually enjoys what they
Yes.
do.
Yes.
There are so many people unhappy,
Yes.
but it's also because they're not being true to themselves.
Yes.
You knew you were going to be unhappy
Right.
when you read the
Exactly.
job,
Yeah.
but you were,
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes we do
Well, no, the
things temporarily.
textiles job, it really did sounded interesting, but this sounded like me.
Well, that's the
You
thing.
know, and it was like, gosh, it was like if I had written a job description for myself,
This would have been.
that would have been it.
Congratulations.
That would have been it. And so like when people ask me, because I get questions from like students like, so when did you know that you wanted to be a beauty scientist? I never did know that.
I was going to ask you.
I never
Why
did.
beauty? You're like, it wasn't
You
about
know
that.
what? It was there. Here's what I think. I never shut myself off from an opportunity.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And one came available, and they don't always come available at the time
Mm.
that you think, right? Because I was like on this trajectory. It was like, well, I have to stay over here in fabric and home care for like the 3 years or so and get advanced before I move. But I moved in the midst of it, and so I didn't get the promotion yet. And
Yeah.
I'm about to start over, and I'm going to start over with a group of people who don't know me, and I've got to prove myself all over again. When I tell you, it was like, it is still what I consider the standard of excellence assignment. That was first assignment I had in beauty. It was such a phenomenal time. The team, first of all, we had just launched. I came in as they were launching Secret Clinical Strength.
Okay.
And it was flying off the shelf.
Yeah.
And it then became like, well, we've got to do more. And then it was just also opening up other areas of innovation for us. And the team that I got to work with was this lean, mighty team. And some of them have retired. Others have moved on to other parts of the company or just out of the company, period. But I'm still in touch with them. So when
That's
I tell,
amazing.
it is. Those
That
are my
lets you
people.
know how the
Those
team
are my
really
people.
was.
They
a
were,
team.
yes.
Yeah. It was
But
an
it wa-
actually good job.
And it was like this family.
Yeah.
Right. And there was never, oh, that's your work. That's not my work.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was like, okay, so what you working on, what you need help with. And that is like
Oh, that's a nice.
attitude that I
Yes.
want our team, any team that I lead, to have. And so
Yeah.
what I find myself trying to do as a leader is making sure, like, listen, we flow to the work,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And we are here to help each other because we can only make our business better. We can only build our business by doing that.
Yeah.
All right. Otherwise, if we don't do that, we won't win. And we have to win as one team.
Gosh, I miss those days. So our teams ebb and flow, right? Like, because
Yes.
you get switched on teams, your
Yeah.
team grows, it shrinks. When you're on all cylinders and everybody's on the same page
Oh,
and
God.
there's nothing like
There's
it.
nothing like it at all.
There's so much rhetoric on TikTok, right? Like
Yeah.
that says, because I hear it from maybe younger employees, it's toxic if you say that your work environment is like a family.
Mhm.
And I was like, it's only toxic if you've never experienced what they're talking about.
Right.
We're not talking about the fake word family.
Yes.
There are people that I've worked with at other companies that I still talk to today
Yes.
because we were on that team that did these
Yes.
amazing things together.
Yes.
It feels like family.
It does.
Like I almost forget how we met. That's how
Yes.
cool and close we are.
Right?
There's nothing like it.
It's nothing.
I wish everyone gets that experience.
Absolutely.
There's
Absolutely.
literally nothing
You know
like
what?
it.
And so we worked hard, but we also played hard.
Yes.
The biggest group of jokester, pranksters, this was a group of products researchers. And so we study people. So I was the one at the time who had like younger kids. And so my daughter was junior high by the time that I was working with them. And so she would get off the bus, have to come in the house and call me. Okay.
Yeah.
And our conversation was always the same. Hey, you home? Okay. You got homework? All right. You know what you need to do. Okay. Get you a snack. Yeah. I left you some stuff in the refrigerator. Okay. I mean for you to get your work done. They would be behind me repeating what I said. I said, I can't stand y'all so
Get away
much.
from me.
I can't stand you so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
But it was again just a phenomenal group of people.
Mhm.
And so like that has always been the experience that I wanted to emulate. My whole point though, because I was talking about how I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
to be a beauty scientist, I went into beauty. And so then
Yeah.
what I did not know, it hadn't even thought of is like, well, somebody has to go out and like talk about like the
Yeah, all
science
of the
behind
things.
what you're doing or doing the demos. And this
Mhm.
is the group of people, we create the demos and then, you know, some of us go and we show
Mhm.
those demos with, at that time, they really were influencers, even though we weren't talking about them like that. They
Oh,
were
that's
like,
interesting.
they were beauty editors.
Yeah, but they were the real influencers.
They were influencers,
Yeah.
right? And then, you know, there was this is when some of these reality shows were coming on. So before Project Runway, there was something like it was doing the America's Top Model, Project Runway kind of theme.
Yeah,
kind of
that
thing. And so-
era. Yeah.
Yes. And so we had an event where I went to New York and they were the beauty editors that were there were given like some fabric and they had to make a top.
Yeah.
Okay. And the person that was going to be judging it was on one of these reality shows and was like in the top 2 to win or something. And so, but Secret is all about like underarms,
It doesn't rub off.
right? It's that. And it's like at that point, it was also about showing how beautiful your underarms could be.
Yeah. I
because of
like
just how
recall that it was like a big deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that was the event that we were there for.
Oh.
I did that one, and then shortly afterwards, I did another one. And I look back now, I just saw these pictures not long ago because a couple of my mentors retired
Yeah.
a few months ago, and we were at this event, and you know, I was trying to find some pictures, but we were launching Secret Clinical Strength Waterproof to show that it provided waterproof protection,
Mhm.
and I did a demo with the boiled egg. And so dyeing this egg.
I'm like,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here was the thing. So when you use it, it plugs up the pores. And
Yeah.
so like the color can't seep through. Right. And so there was, you hard boil the egg, you put the clinical strength on like half of the egg and
Yeah.
the other half you don't. You dip it in the water and where
And
the
you pull
secret
it out.
clinical strength has been applied, it's not blue. All right.
This makes sense. Okay,
it
I'm
does.
rocking with
So,
you.
but here's the thing that I look back at a few months ago and was like, the Lord protects babies and fools, and you get to decide which one I was that day. I had on a off-white pantsuit with off-white boots, and I got a
Blue.
blue bowl of dye.
And you
I'm
were
like,
I'm gonna show you.
and nothing got on me either. Now you want to talk about confidence? I'm like, I don't know if it was confidence because of Secret Clinical. I don't know what it was.
But you were
I looked
sure.
at that, and the first thing I was like, I can't believe you did that.
I can't believe no one said anything to you.
Um,
Like, hey,
mm.
might not want to do that for this
Yeah,
demo.
but the point is that that was the first role that exposed me and
Yeah.
gave me some different opportunities. And as the opportunities continued to come, I said yes. Because you know what?
Yeah.
Not long ago, who sent me a text asking me to be a rapper?
You're-
And you asked me, did I rap? And I was like,
and
no.
I literally was like, I purposely didn't put context because I just wanted to know what your response was going to be. Because I was like, I think we all were together when I sent the text. And I was like, I want to know what she's going to say. Because I just know she's going to be like, what are you talking about? Like, I just knew
I
something.
was like, no.
And you
And
were
it's a complete
immediate.
sentence.
It was
It's a
no
complete
period.
sentence.
And I was like, okay, let me add the context now. And then guess what you're going to do? Rap!
Right, and I wrote back and I said, okay. You gave me the context.
Yeah,
and I
then I gave
said,
you context after.
all right. I will try it.
Yes.
Okay. I am open to trying it.
Yes.
All right. And so that's how I approach a lot of life. And so every assignment that I've had has been that. And it has been
Yes.
some mentor that has said, hey, I think you should look at this. Because I was between APDO and body wash. I did that for like 6 years or so. And then a mentor called and said, hey, there's an opportunity over in hair care.
Yeah.
I want you to think,
try it
I want you
out,
to take
yeah.
a look at it. And like, read the post, have a conversation with the hiring manager and see what you think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but I was happy where I was. I was like, well, why would I be moving right now? Like,
I'm good.
I'm chilling. What would
Mhm.
you know? I've been in hair care since January of 2013. We know how that turned out.
Listen, and here we
and
are.
the opportunities just continued
To
to
come.
come. And let me be clear. Not every experience has been like positive that I wanted to repeat, but
Mhm.
they've been growthful.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what life is.
Yes.
And I learned from them and then have been able to use them to help me to get to the next level.
Mhm.
And sometimes it has been like, okay, I tried that.
Yeah.
And I did my absolute best in it. It's just not my jam. And
Yeah.
so now it's time for me to move on
Do
to something
something else.
else. And then there have been other times that when I'm like, gosh, I didn't think I wanted to do this. And,
And now
this
I'm
is
loving it.
really fun.
Mhm.
This is awesome.
I tell
am
everyone,
loving this. And
Give
when
yourself a season of yes.
you've got to try it.
Just try.
You have to try it.
Yeah.
You do. And so, yeah. And when you do, I believe that some of that is going to work out a whole lot better than what you thought.
Oh yeah.
And you're
we
going
do
to find
we
your
go to
sweet
doom
spot.
more than we go to excellence,
yes.
right? So like,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
No,
yeah.
I just so that's what I believe. But I became a beauty scientist in the midst of that. Like it wasn't what
Mm.
the goal was. I was looking at the assignment. It's what's interesting to me. You know, I talked about being the dream one day, right? Of like being
Mhm.
Miss Alcorn and like being in the Ebony magazine.
Mhm.
And I have been in several magazines now, and
Mhm.
it's because I'm a PhD scientist. I'm not a model. I'm not famous, right? I'm not an actor or actress or any of this kind of stuff. And so,
Sure.
like, what our children need to understand is that, and I believe this because it says this in the Bible, like, your talent will make room for you.
Yes.
And so mine has made room for me. And you can go into a STEM field and you will have opportunities that you cannot even fathom.
There it is. Mic drop.
Dropping the mic.
I just thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. This was fun.
I'm so happy you came and chatted with me. I am. Before we close,
Yes.
any final words of advice? For anybody, parents or kids.
You know, as a parent, here's what I'll tell you. I grew up in the St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church in Bassfield, Mississippi. And we used to have Easter pieces, Mother's Day pieces. And the reason they were pieces is because at the time we didn't even have a copier at the church. And so the Sunday school teachers would literally write the speeches out on a piece of paper. We didn't have a camera phone to be taking a picture of, because these things would get lost. But they only had their one book, right, that had them in there. And so they would write them out.
Yeah.
And some children were able to age out of them because they would throw a tantrum, tell their mama they now 10 years old, and now they shouldn't have to do this. My mama never believed that I aged out.
Okay? She was like, I don't care if you're 10 or
and if she didn't care how bad I was. I cried through some of them because I forgot my words. I didn't speak loud enough so they couldn't hear me. I totally forgot what I was saying, which then caused me to cry some more. And I got tired of being embarrassed because
you were forgetting your
right?
words.
And self-respect, honey, I need you to have some. And so I had self-respect, and this is just not gonna keep happening to me,
right?
And so today when people talk about like how well I speak, I didn't have options. And even when my mama decided like she wasn't going to press me anymore about it. Okay?
What age was this?
High school.
Okay. Yes,
okay. So I go to college and she's not going to bother me anymore about it. But now keep in mind, you had 5-year-olds and then you had my 17-year-old self up. My speeches are longer. Right. Yeah. But anyway, I would come home, Sister Dorothy Middleton at the St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church. My mama would be like, Sister Middleton gonna want you to get up and do a speech. Because, I'm coming home and it's like, it's Christmas time, or I'm home and it's Mother's Day. Baby, when I tell you, and I knew it and I had to get up, so I would have to have something to say. Here's my advice. My advice is make your children do some of the stuff that they don't want to do, because you know that they're going to need this. There is not a job in this world where you don't have to talk to somebody. You have to get up in front of people and talk to them. And it is a thing that terrifies most people. And please know, right? Every single time that I get up in front of an audience, am I nervous? Sure I am. I'm prepared, but like, I learned that being nervous for me, it's a sign that God is with me. And so if I'm not nervous, if I were not nervous, I'd be concerned.
Yeah.
Right. But I walk into it. And sometimes you have to step into your fear. And it is a thing that I've had to do time and time again. I do it on a daily basis. I am really comfortable being uncomfortable. Getting up in front of people was an uncomfortable thing.
Yeah.
And it's a thing that I had to master. And so that's what I would say. And it's not just to parents, it's to children too. Like, stop trying to get out of the thing that makes you feel uncomfortable, because some of this stuff can grow you, right? Yes. I had to have tutors because while we talk about I did STEM, oh baby, I was forever. There are people who get it like right then. No, I got to study every day. We started the material. It's gonna be 2 weeks from now, and I got to study this not till the night before that I may get some of these concepts. Oh, but when I get to cooking with grease, I am cooking with grease, and you're not gonna beat me. Yes. So that was what I'd say.
I love it. That was a lot of advice, actually. Okay. I heard work at it.
Yeah.
Push through.
Yes.
It's okay being uncomfortable. Do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Literally put yourself in situations to grow.
Put yourself in situations
to grow. And
don't
think because you don't get it right away that you're not going to ever get it.
Right. And ask somebody for help.
Because I heard ask for help.
You will find that there are people who want to help you.
All the time.
But they're waiting for you to ask too.
They're ready.
Because sometimes you don't know, like, okay,
they're
going to act funny if I just offer. And so like, or do you realize that you're not doing this well and you need some help? Because you need to have some self-awareness to you too, right? Yeah. That's it.
That's amazing advice. Thank you for being here with me today. I really love you. And I think that the audience is going to love what you shared today. Thank you for joining with the Princess of STEM Diaries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Princess of STEM with Dr. Whitney Gaskins. For more episodes, find us on YouTube and Spotify.